Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm the teacher.
And I'm Ruth, and I'm the athlete.
Basketball skill. Shooting. Picture of bell basketball. Sound source. Tactile map. Tactile shooting diagram. Artist's figurine.
In this video, we're going to be going over the basketball skill of shooting. To make shooting accessible to all athletes, we use a variety of teaching techniques and tools that we'll be going over today. We're going to pull up our tactile map to familiarize ourselves to the court and the gameplay locations. In my hands, I have our tactile basketball court. It is made using cardboard and some raised lines to make it fully tactile. It also includes Braille for our Braille readers and large print to be fully accessible to blind and visually impaired athletes. Ruth and I are going to explore the map together, and we're going to go over some of the key features of the basketball court. So Ruth, here we have the court. If you want to follow along with your lines, the big rectangle around the outside is our boundary and out of bounds lines. You'll feel a line in the middle, that's the half court. And then at each baseline, you'll feel a rectangle with a half circle at the top. That's going to be our key. And then there's a larger half circle that surrounds our key, and that's the 3-point line. In the middle of the key, you'll feel another circle, and that's going to be the hoop. Do you have any questions about our tactile map?
Not at the moment.
Awesome, great.
Use a tactile diagram to demonstrate the movement.
So Ruth, if we want to explore this, we have our basketball shooter, and we are going through kind of each step of the shot. So our first outline is with the ball in front of our chest getting ready to shoot, with our knees slightly bent and our ball in front of our face. And then as you feel along, you'll feel that athlete begin to raise up and straighten his legs and move that ball up above his head and begin using his right arm to push that shot forward and up.
Use an artist's figurine with the athlete to demonstrate the movement.
Now we are going to use our artist figurine to manipulate into our shooting motions. So I like how you're bending their knees about shoulder width apart. We want to make sure we're using our legs to help power that shot, right?
Yeah.
Great. I like how you've got their knees bent nice and bent in our athletic position. You've got our hands up in front of our chest and our face, which is awesome. Same with our right hand. You've got the palm facing away like they'd be holding the ball, with that left hand guiding on the left side of the ball to guide that shot forward. I really like what you did with our artist figurine, and we can use some tactile modeling to go over that motion. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Great.
Use tactile modeling to demonstrate the movement.
So now, Ruth, I'm going to have you follow along on my body. I want you to put your hands on my right shoulder, and you can put your other hand on my right elbow or wrist if that's more comfortable for you. So as we go through this motion, I want you to be able to feel my right arm extending up through my shoulder and my right elbow extending forward. So I'll do that motion one more time. We'll feel that arm up and extend. Make sense?
Yeah.
Great. Now I'm going to have you move your hand to my right wrist. So we'll feel how our hand moves as we go through that motion. So as we raise up through our legs and our arms and our shoulders come up, you can feel how my wrist flicks forward to propel that shot, right?
Yeah.
You want me to go through it one more time?
Yes, please.
Great. So here we go. Everything moves up, and we move that right wrist forward. Any questions?
No.
Great. To give our athletes an audible target to shoot towards to the hoop, we use a sound source that we can put right behind the hoop, behind the backboard, or in the center of the net for an audible target. You can also use a differing sound source on the other hoop to differentiate each sides for the opposing teams. Now I'm going to pick up our bell basketball, and we'll practice that shooting motion. All right, Ruth, I'm going to hand you our bell basketball, and I want you to get in that shooting position for me, okay? And then we're going to practice shooting the ball towards me without our hoop, just so we can go over the mechanics. Any questions?
No.
Great. Here's the basketball, and I'm just going to turn away from you, and I'm going to have you practice that shooting motion getting ready for that mechanic. Awesome. Very good. Way to make that correction, bending your knees, getting into that athletic position. Ruth, that looked really good. Now we're going to practice just some shooting, not aiming at the hoop, but just to go over that mechanic in total. So I'm going to hand you back the Bell basketball. I'm going to have you take just 2 steps backwards for me, and we're going to practice that shot just towards me without the hoop, okay? Great, so here's the basketball, and then I'm 2 steps away from you, and I just want you to practice that shot towards me, okay? So whenever you're ready. Awesome. Let's try it one more time. I want you to try to push that ball just a little bit higher up in the air, just so we can simulate shooting on an actual hoop at that 10-foot height, okay? Awesome, go ahead. Great, much better.
Use a tactile map to demonstrate gameplay. Matt and Ruth are standing at the basketball hoop.
Here we'll explore our tactile diagram. I have our key outlined in our white rectangle that's high contrast against the black background. So that's the key. And as you move back towards the bottom, you'll feel a circle with a hole in it. That's going to represent our hoop that's up in the air. As you move into the center of the key, there's a little Velcro circle. That represents us. So we're going to be starting right in the middle of the key. Since we don't need a constant sound source at our hoop, I just have a wooden dowel to tap the hoop with to give us an audible target just to orient with, okay? So Ruth, I'm standing under the hoop, and I'm going to tap up on the middle of the backboard right behind the hoop. You go ahead and practice that shooting motion. Awesome, let's try that one more time. Nice job. So now let's use our tactile map, and we'll be able to see where that shot went so we can make adjustments for our next shots, okay? So I'm back with our tactile map. So if you want to follow along with my finger here, we're going to move up towards the top. So we've got ourselves here, and our first shot stayed on course but fell just short. And then our second shot hit the back of the rim and bounced off. For our next shot, let's take a little more power off of it to just put it right in the center of the hoop, okay?
Okay.
Let's practice again.
Be patient. It may take several attempts for the athlete to progress in the skill.
Hey! Good shot. Another way we can make basketball more accessible without using a constant sound source on the backboard is to use high contrast tape on the backboard for our athletes that have some vision, as well as someone being able to tap on the backboard or to turn on a sound source just for a quick orientation for our athletes that might not need a constant sound source to utilize during gameplay. That was our basketball skill of shooting. Through good teaching techniques, good communication, and adaptive equipment, we can make basketball accessible to all who are blind or visually impaired.
For more, visit the Sports Adaptations page at www.nwaba.org. Thank you for watching. Slide of NWABA logo.